up in tonight's bulletin, Solomon Islands today commemorated the International Day of Democracy. Pacific leaders have signed the landmark Pacific Resilience Facility Treaty in Honiara. NGSSI is calling for the upcoming Minerals Resource Bill 2025 to clearly spell out and ensure that mining companies pay the environmental bonds as part of their operational responsibilities. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Sharon Nanau. Solomon Islands mark the International Day of Democracy today with a national event in Honiara, highlighting the role of youths in shaping the country's democratic future. Simon Tavake reports.
Solomon Islands today commemorated the International Day of Democracy at the Sinu village in Honiara. The event brought together government officials, donor partners, youths and other key stakeholders. This year's theme, Youth Voices, United Choices, Youth in Democratic Action, emphasized the important role of young people in shaping the nation's future. In his remarks, Acting Prime Minister Honorable Frederick Kolongeto reflected on the theme, stressing that it calls on young people to unite and contribute positively to the country's development.
This year we celebrate under the theme Youth Voices, United Choices, Youth in Democratic Actions. The theme calls on young people to unite and shape a future that truly reflects the hopes of all in a positive way. You, our youth, are a vibrant and energetic part of our population. Your voices carry innovation, diversity, and hope.
Commissioner of the Political Parties Commission, Mr. Frank Paulsen, highlighted the importance of investing in democratic capacities to empower the younger generation.
Today's theme is a call to governments, institutions, civil society, and all of us to ensure that youth voices are not only heard but empowered, that their choices are not fragmented but united in shaping inclusive, resilient democracies that can meet the challenges of our time. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let this day inspire us to invest in the democratic capacities of our young people, to equip, support, and partner with them.
Meanwhile, UNDP Deputy Resident Representative Raluca Edon says for democracy to thrive, young people must be included in policy discussions.
For democracy to thrive, the voices and aspirations of young people must be placed at the very center of policy making, governance, and national development. What does it tell us about choices? It tells us that for democracy to thrive, young people must be able to successfully embark upon a journey of civic engagement, of participation, and thus make choices that are grounded, as some of the speakers have said before me, in dialogue, participation, inclusion, and accountability.
Today's program was jointly hosted by the Political Parties Commission through the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties in partnership with the Solomon Islands National University with support from UNDP. Simon Tavake for SIBC TV.
Now, Pacific leaders have taken a major step toward climate and disaster resilience by signing the historic Pacific Resilience Facility (PRF) Treaty in Honiara, the region's first homegrown member-owned resilience financing mechanism. Andrea Mahanua with the details.
Pacific leaders have signed the landmark Pacific Resilience Facility (PRF) Treaty in Honiara recently, marking a vital step towards a resilient and sustainable future for the region. The PRF is the first Pacific-led, member-owned regional resilience financing facility designed to assist Pacific Island states to prepare, respond, and recover from disasters and the effects of climate change. With the treaty now signed, efforts are moving forward to bring the facility into operation.
The immediate next step now is to support our member countries to ratify the PRF treaty so that it can become a legal person. Once it becomes a legal person, then the council is established, the board is established, and one of the things we're doing now, we're working with members to do the programming co-design. How will we co-design the grants with civil society, private sector, with communities, with member governments, implementing partners, on how will we make it easy for our communities to access the grants, what the grants can be used for, how will we help our communities build resilience. So those are the next steps, and the outlook for the 2026 is that we'll be operationalizing the PRF together. And then by the 55th leaders meeting in Palau is when leaders are expecting for us to launch the first call for pilot projects. And then by 2027, we have to get money out the door to communities, to the grassroots communities.
The Kingdom of Tonga, the host country of the PRF, submitted its instrument of ratification documents during the treaty signing. Several other countries are expected to submit their own ratification documents soon.
This is a very important, we're demonstrating to the world that our forum leaders are very serious about climate change. It's the greatest single security threat to our people and to our region, and also that we're responding proactively to the issue of climate access to climate finance. We're not getting a fair share of climate finance in terms of the disproportionate impact that it's having on our people. And the third is essentially when we look at a multilateral financial system, we look at the global vertical funds, we're not competing with them. This is a complementary institution.
Songo acknowledged all Pacific Islands Forum members and their partners for their valuable support to the initiative.
I just want to thank all of our partners and our members and our communities in advance, because this work will come to our members. We'll be touching the hearts and minds of communities all over our Blue Pacific. That will be facing challenges that we don't expect it to be easy. But I think one of the key things is the spirit of solidarity and unity, and the pride, the Pacific pride that we have in order to show the world that we can do it. We can do it. This is our first time to establish an institution like this. And 50 years from now, 70 years from now, we're creating an institution that will outlive all of us. So this is the pride of what we're trying to do now. At a time such as this, climate change will only get worse. And it's important that we make sure that this institution works, and if we hold hands, you and me together act now, in that spirit, we can do it.
Over $160 million has been pledged toward the capitalization of the PRF, with the goal of reaching $500 million by the end of 2026. Andrea Mahanwa for SIBC TV.
Now, the Geoscience Society of Solomon Islands, GSSI, is calling for the upcoming Minerals Resource Bill 2025 to clearly spell out and ensure that mining companies pay their environmental bonds as part of their operational responsibilities. GSSI President Nicholas Biliki said that although current legislation already requires the payment of environmental bonds, the society is aware that some mining companies currently operating in the country have failed to fulfill this obligation.
One of the issues government for determining the financial insurance. The current bill and talk about them environmental bond. MC, it has to be paid before mining lease is issued. Instead mining lease this time, company no pay no environmental bond. The legislation am requiring, but companies are just not paying it, and the money lease is granted. Direct enough imposing. So, maybe something that the bill need for really addressing good there. Addressing good.
Meanwhile, GSSI member Dr. Kalwik Togamana emphasized the importance of financial assurance towards environmental rehabilitation being clearly stated in the bill.
Financial assurance towards monitoring for compliance must be clearly articulated in this last section, because law here am telling that the holder of mineral must provide government with financial assurance to assure conduct of the holder's obligation under the approved rehabilitation. So while the mining having go on, of course, the company should also carry out rehabilitation where workaway hemidan immunologim that one lo renal I'm over the digging over the pits here, take them out, extract and finish bauxite, then move on to another one, and then him no rehabilitate in a way that him left open or some no collect them water become an environmental hazard. So the society is keen to ensure that this monitoring aspect must be financially supported, and if this fund could also do that, because if he may rely on law government where he may apply through or the development budget for this one, in most cases he may not have received that one. So for compliance, for monitoring, if that could be placed clearly this financial assurance. I think no more submission below body and me.
The society believes that with stronger legislative backing and clarity in the Minerals Resource Bill 2025, the Solomon Islands can better protect its environment and hold mining companies accountable for their impacts. Pacific Island Forum leaders have endorsed the Blue Pacific Ocean of Peace Declaration, a major step towards strengthening regional unity and addressing shared challenges such as climate change, natural disasters, and socio-economic instability. Andrea Mahanua with the details.
The recently endorsed Blue Pacific Ocean of Peace Declaration by forum leaders is expected to strengthen regional efforts in advancing peace, stability, and prosperity across the Pacific. The declaration seeks to tackle major regional challenges, including climate change, natural disasters, and socio-economic issues.
In our efforts to reiterate the implementation of peace in our region, we endorsed the Blue Pacific Ocean of Peace Declaration. As highlighted by Prime Minister Rambuka, and I quote, "The Ocean of Peace Declaration is a signal that we seek a region in which strategic competition is managed, where stability is the touchstone of regional relationships, and where cohesion is assured." The declaration promotes peace building as an integral element of Pacific regionalism and recognizes that sustainable development is essential for addressing the root causes of conflict, fostering lasting harmony, and empowering communities to thrive. Importantly, and something that is dear to me, is the discussion on the ongoing legacy issues relating to unexploded ordnance, UXO, in the region, including Solomon Islands. This is something that we are committed to incorporating into our region or our regional security work program.
Prime Minister Manele also highlighted that the implementation plan linked to the declaration will guide the forum's efforts in addressing the region's key challenges.
The Ocean of Peace will come with an implementation plan of its own, and that will go into the details as to how we will address or manage the various issues that come under the Ocean of Peace Declaration. For example, the UXOs that I was referring to, there will be a work program or implementation plan as well, in terms of how do we as a region, as countries, working closely with our Secretariat, proceed to address UXOs, working with our partners also. For example, in the case of Solomon Islands, we have the US and Australia who have been working with us, but we would like to expand those activities, and probably other countries who face a similar challenge would also approach it in that way. So there will be implementation plans in terms of the various issues and challenges coming under the Ocean of Peace Declaration.
Andrea Mahanwa for SIBC TV.
Now, in a landmark move for menstrual equity, period products are now officially tax-free in the Solomon Islands. This significant policy change follows a year-long advocacy campaign through the project Period Tax Reform PTR. The initiative was driven by passionate young Solomon Islanders, marking a significant step toward making menstrual health products more affordable and accessible for women and girls across the country.
I've been working in the menstrual health space for quite a while, and we founded one for our organization at Kalam Stay for Solomons, basically, and deal with them menstrual health and hygiene law Solomon Islands, and we feel producing reusable sanitary pads going into communities and also so because of that we feel looking challenge block cost and also accessibility, and so there have been like thoughts and already started, but not really concrete steps taken forward until team leader Blomi Gladys reached out, which is the timing couldn't be more perfect.
We had a first meeting, and in fact first meeting online and we put together a plan, and then slowly after that we had more meetings where we I guess created a strategic approach. One of the main things we are doing is we had an online survey to capture public support to this project. We also decided that it's important for go looking at the students and go to the schools, the community. So we reached out to the Ministry of Education and we got the support from PS of Education, Dr. Rodi. So we've seen a few schools, so Chungwa, King George, Woodford. We also saw St. John's School, Solomon Islands National University too, Mifakasem. So a lot of advocacy student level because we wanted this to be a youth-led movement, something where every young people feel the need for government must take action for our girls and women.
Before the change, period products were taxed at nearly 30%. The PTR team has expressed their gratitude to key authorities for positively responding to their submission.
We're all very excited, of course. Gladys first reached out, I think about July, August of last year, and then it was passed on the 1st of August. So within a year, you're able to see, the effect of it come to light now. So that one is actually very encouraging, to see something this big, in only a short time actually come about.
This achievement is very symbolic. We really thank the Ministry of Finance, first of all, for receiving our submission, openly and putting it through to Cabinet for endorsing. Thankful too to Cabinet that value the impact that this will have on our women and girls. Going forward, the taxes on period products that was almost at 30% previously is now reduced to 0%, which is the first reform of its kind in our country, and I think possibly in our region as well. So hopefully what we hope to see is now that it's been in effect, law customs, a few months down the line when we get in shipments of period products law country, all the stores where oketa get them in period products, but save down in price, law shop law oketa, so that women and girls save come and pay at a better rate, than what it was before with them, not that fala high tax,
And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. Thanks for watching.